Hello, I'm back. I hope you've been well. So today we'll cover shift number 2. So last week we covered shift number 1, which was authenticity. Authenticity is key. We learned not to be fake, right? Because not if we want to heal. It's not going to do us any good if we're faking it, because then we can't heal, because we're not going deep down into us, right? Into ourselves. We're just being this fake individual, and that's not a good thing. So today we'll cover using the power of awareness. It says most people today are kind of sleepwalking. They're not fully aware. They're not taking really responsibility for their lives, because it's so much easier to just follow along with the program, follow along with the masses, do what everybody else does, right? It's easier than to go against the grain, right? Yeah, because nobody wants to be different, so we just go along. But then we're not in control, are we? No. It says, in the absence of awareness, you react mindlessly to your surroundings because all you have is the movement of thought. Your reaction will then depend on your past experiences and conditioning. So if we're not aware, when something happens, we react to whatever it was that we experienced before, whatever we were conditioned to. So if you ever noticed, you always react the same way in a certain circumstance. There's a trigger and you react, usually the same way. I know it was that way for me for a long time, right? I would respond in the same way because that's all I knew, because I was depending on what was here, because I wasn't aware of myself, right? Okay. You start to believe what you're experiencing is reality, when actually you're experiencing the narrative of your mind, created as a reaction to what is going on around you. You only go by what you know and hear, because you're not aware of yourself as to where you are now, in the now, in this moment. You just go back to reacting, right? Without awareness, you confuse what is happening in your mind with reality. You are at the mercy of the conditioned mind. And our minds are definitely conditioned, right? From a little girl, I was being conditioned. Little boys, we all are conditioned, right? By our parents, by religion, by the government, by school, whatever. We're being conditioned to be a certain way, to think a certain way, right? So when something happens, if we're not aware of ourselves in that moment, we just react by whatever that conditioning was, right? Or is in our mind. We do what we always do, right? Yeah, which is not a good thing, because it shows we're not in control, because we're not aware. Okay, it's such an important thing to be aware. It says awareness empowers you to make conscious choices based on an understanding of yourself and of the situation, to notice what your choice created and then to choose again. This is why awareness is so powerful. By becoming aware, you are snatching back control. So have you ever done something and you made a choice? Did you ever ask yourself, well, why did I make that choice? Did you stop yourself and say, oops, maybe that's not a good choice? That means awareness. When you realize, wait a minute, right? You caught yourself, you catch yourself in the moment. Why am I doing this? Most of the time we just do what we always do. We don't question ourselves. We don't stop to think, what in the world am I doing? Why am I doing this? What am I letting happen, right? A lot of times we just let it happen, because that's what we're used to doing, right? We're not being aware of ourselves or aware that we can make another choice, right? So we do the same thing over and over again. It says becoming us, becoming aware of yourself involves your emotions and your thoughts. So they go together, the way we think and the way we feel. It says learning to name your emotions and learning what triggers certain emotions is a great benefit to you. Do you know your emotions? Do you know when you're angry? When you're all anxious? They're not the same, right? Do you know the difference? I have a video on my channel that talks about emotions and naming them so that we know exactly what they are. And then we learn the triggers that people put in front of us, right? Or situations. We get triggered by certain things, and then we get angry, we're upset, or we're happy and we, think things are funny. Those are good emotions, but all emotions are valuable, even the bad ones, right? Because once we learn them and understand them, we're not afraid of them. They're our emotions, right? But it's when we're not in control of them or aware of ourselves, that's when we're afraid. And that's when we make mistakes, because we just go back to what we always do, right? So once we get to know our emotions, or like some people say, have emotional intelligence, that means becoming aware of your emotions, knowing what they are, how they affect you as an individual, okay, and what emotions trigger you. That's emotional intelligence. That's becoming aware of yourself, right? It says you can become aware of the pattern of your thoughts by paying attention to what you're thinking and interrupting those thoughts. You can then easily shift them from negative to positive. Now, I had to learn how to do that, okay? Because I always thought the same thing too. And I was afraid of my thoughts because I didn't understand them. Sometimes I didn't know, why am I angry all of a sudden? What happened to make me feel this way? I didn't know. So I just went along with whatever it was that was in my mind from before. Whatever experiences I had, that's all I had to go by. Until I learned to become aware of myself. And as I was going through the healing process, I did become aware of myself, because all of a sudden I thought, well, wait a minute, why am I thinking this? What is it that I'm thinking? What just happened that triggered me, right? Now, what am I going to do that's going to benefit me, right? Because I have a choice now. I can benefit me or I can hurt me. And I definitely don't want to hurt me, so how can I benefit myself, right? In the moment, when you become aware of whatever it is that you're feeling and what triggered you, right? And even the people that are around you, if they're the triggers, then you need to not be around those people. I had to let some people go because whenever I was around them, it's like this thing welled up inside, this feeling came, and I couldn't control it. So I thought, right? Until I became aware. I said, this always happens when I'm around this particular person, and he's using that to upset me. And he knows what he's doing, but I didn't know what he was doing until I learned. And then I took control, right? And I had to let go of that person, yeah, to benefit myself, right? I have that choice. I have that power. But I was so much older already before I realized that I did have that power and that choice. So you may have realized it already, or you may realize it in the future. And if you need help in doing that, I'll be glad to help you. Okay? It says there's no need to be afraid of your thoughts, because you can always change your thoughts. You're in control. Yes. I became not afraid of my thoughts. Whatever thoughts I was thinking, even if they were bad thoughts, I acknowledged this is not a good thought. So let me change it, right? This is not a good way I'm thinking about this person or this particular thing. Why am I thinking this way? Let me change it, because I have the power. There's nobody else in my head but me, right? Yeah, old conditioning and old experiences. That's what's in my head. But I can put new things in there by having new thoughts. And once I found that out, it was so liberating, because wow, it's right. I'm the one thinking the thoughts. Nobody else. Nobody puts them in my head. I choose to have those thoughts in my head. And I can choose to change those thoughts. Right? I hope you try that. Next time you're thinking thoughts, ask yourself, why are you thinking those thoughts? What's happening to you right now? Who are you in that moment? Become aware of yourself. Realize whether you're just going by old conditioning or whether you now making a choice to do something different, right? Okay. Well, that was a long thing about awareness, but it's because it's so important to become aware of yourself and of your surroundings, your situations, because things will totally change once you realize you're in control. Right? It happened for me. Once I realized nobody was controlling me. No, because I realized I'm in control. I don't have to do what you say. Right? I do what I choose to do. That's best for me. Right? Okay. Well, we'll go on to the next one when I come back. Okay. And that's going to be the secret weapon. So I'll let you know when I come back what that is. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.